seems like more and more Meta updates are getting less reliable as far as how the features roll out, who all gets them, and even if we get complete announcements that the new updates are rolling. We already reported earlier this month how V69 was starting to roll out to the public test channels, and we talked pretty fully about what features were hopefully coming then, so we will move through these a little faster. But now on the community forums at Meta, they've actually dropped the V69 release notes without dropping the usual blog post over on the Meta blog that usually walks us through these. If you're wondering if your headset has it, you can go check in the About section, see what version you're on, but you also might need to restart the headset, as people have reported on Reddit has helped them enable this update. If you remember the days of Hey Google and then it became Okay Google, well now Hey Meta can wake your Quest with the AI that's inside of it. So there's a new button in the feature for Meta AI settings where you can toggle to have Hey Meta engage with the assistant. The window layout that's been experimental since V67 is now no longer experimental and is the layout that will be turned on for everyone. If you haven't experimented with this yet, you will probably notice it because sometimes moving the windows around can be a little surprising or finicky, or they'll stay where you left them and you might not have a window when you put your headset back on. Those windows also have spatial audio, so if you post up a window somewhere and you walk away from it, the sound of that window will stay where you left it and you'll be able to turn away or even walk out of range. We were forever supposed to be able to hide apps in our library, but now there's a remove from library option that was supposed to be added, although last I checked, I still didn't have this option, and for someone who's tested like 300 free games, I have a very cluttered up library on my Quest. There's a Bluetooth quick pairing option so that if there's nearby devices, it'll actually notify you in the headset if you enable this. That way it's a little easier if you're trying to grab headphones, it'll detect them and you can just quickly pair them up. Seamless multitasking, which we went over in depth already. Now you can be in a game and actually have 2D apps open, enabling all different kinds of things. You can literally look up a YouTube tutorial for a game you're in the middle of playing just by pausing the game, not having to leave it anymore. More importantly, for someone like me, if I was to stream from the Quest, I can actually have a window open and see my stream chat inside the headset. But there's all kinds of possibilities. We've seen people do it, this having emulators open to play an old 2D game while waiting for their turn in Demio, so many other things. The content's adaptive backlight control is similar to local dimming in the theory that when there's a darker scene, it would darken the actual headset settings itself to make that darkness look more immersive and real. But unlike local dimming, this wouldn't be doing this in zones. This would be doing this to the whole screen, trying to simulate that. So far, the reviews are a little mixed on it. It does make darker scenes darker, but if it doesn't adapt back quickly enough in brighter scenes, it can be a bit immersion breaking as the scene brightens up late. But this is early. It hopefully will become better. They claim to have made some improvements to the head tracked cursor, so when you're in something like watching a movie or a 2D app, it won't pop up when you don't want it to, which I'm sure if you've watched much media, you've seen that where the cursor's there as a dot right in the middle of your vision at what you're looking at. Some privacy settings and permissions history were updated to try and make these a little bit simpler and more uniform across Horizon, Worlds, and the Quest itself. Stylus support for the few people who are looking to get the Logitech MX Ink. And then another thing to add to the list of things that are talked about but I still haven't seen show up, the Oceanarium, where you're inside a home but you can look out into an ocean with creatures around you. Also something that's supposed to be there, but again, these things not only roll out to different people in different regions differently, even on your own headset you can get some of the features and not all of them, which to me makes the updates a little less impactful. I know that sometimes they roll them out to test if there's bugs and then pull them back. That's kind of the whole point of the public test channel, but it seems like when they come out for everyone after public test, they should all come out at once to everyone, or at least the headset gets all of the features from it, so you're not still waiting for ones back from V66 or 67 like we've been. What do you think about that though? Let me know in the comments. With every sign pointing towards the fact that the Meta Quest 3S is going to be revealed at Meta Connect this year, an actual first official image from Meta has been leaked. This image, originally spotted by a Reddit user, was found in the files of the Quest link client for PC. So when you go in and it shows you the different headsets to choose from, it shows this 3S image, which matches pretty much exactly what we've seen in every other leak so far. The action button spotted on the bottom, the volume rocker, the lack of any sort of IPD control, meaning likely we do have those 3 clicks for IPD on the inside, just like the Quest 2 had, the complete lack of an auxiliary port, the new camera placement on the sides, the mic placement on the bottom, a couple different holes there and on the front. And it's wild at this point how much we've seen about this Quest 3S without any official confirmation from Meta, even now going as far as them having the image of it inside where we can still find it as of the time of recording this. So what do you think? Is this light version of the Quest 3 launching in as little as 2 weeks? Are they going to announce pre-orders at Connect like they did the Quest 3 and then people can order them right away to get them mid-October? That's what we're leaning heavily towards, but the minute we have any confirmation otherwise, we'll let you know, although it will probably not come until the keynote of Meta Connect itself. Outside of Meta, there's a lot of other things pointing towards the Quest 3S, and some websites even showing accessories for the 3S as available. AliExpress showed accessories briefly, and then they got pulled back down that showed that current accessories for the Quest 3 may actually work on the 3S as well. And last year when we were at this same point when the 3 was almost launched, a lot of you were really excited and requested that we do something. Before the launch, you wanted a Quest 3 giveaway. So now we're going to follow the same trend as last year. We're going to host our first Quest 3S giveaway, and we're going to start it today. Unfortunately, we don't know the hard end date of when the Quest 3S will be out. So the way it'll work is we'll run this until October 20th. That way, if it's out by the 20th, then we'll announce the winner, get a hold of them, send them their 3S. If it's not out yet, we should at least have a date by then. And worst case scenario, if it's not out, I'll talk to the winner and we'll get them either something comparable or just send them a Quest 3 instead. So I suppose for you out there, you should hope that it doesn't actually launch by then if you're entering the giveaway, because it'd be better to get a 3 than a 3S. So there will be a link in the comments, the description down below. A new 3S giveaway. We still have a 3 giveaway going on. There's a Bobo VR giveaway. There's a gaming giveaway. There's just tons of stuff there. So make sure if you want to enter all of them, go for it. If you really just want a 3S, feel free to just enter that one. For a while now, the Quest 3 and the whole Quest lineup has been trying to do generative legs that basically would use predictive algorithms to figure out where your legs are going through body tracking and from the headset's movements. Pico recently showed off that they're actually making leg trackers for the Pico headset, and Meta, still betting on generative legs, says that, well, if Pico motion trackers are a massive success, they might actually consider them. Boz, in another one of his many AMAs, talks about how the Pico has the new motion trackers, says they have no interest in doing them, but if Pico can show up that there is a huge demand for them, then maybe they would reconsider actually making these. Basically citing how not only is it an additional cost, of course you have to think about these are another thing to charge, another thing to pair up to the headset, another bit of tech that could foul up. But I wonder, to all of you out there, if they did offer a set of leg trackers, would you pay $100 more for them for your Quest? That'd mean if you are a VR chat dancer, if you want to kick people in Blade and Sorcery, if you just want more accuracy in social games, would it be worth that cost to you? And then of course the additional headache of having to make sure they were charged and ready to go when you use them. People spend a lot more than that on full body tracking for PC, so it seems like it would be possible.
I'm not sure that the juice is worth the squeeze, and I don't mean that from like a business standpoint. I mean even for the consumer in terms of what they get out of it. Listen, I hope it goes so well for them and that they prove me wrong, and then we'll have to do it.
More and more privacy concerns keep coming up with VR headsets and the Quest, especially as in the recent news we were reporting how more developers are finding ways to hack in and actually get access to your full color pass-through on the headset, basically being able to see whatever you're seeing whenever you're in VR. And although those so far do take some sort of installation and something you'd have to agree to, that doesn't mean a malicious program couldn't sneakily get you to agree to some terms of service that ends up putting it on there. And it brings up questions about location tracking. Just like a phone, there are location tracking services inside of the Quest headset, although you can toggle those on and off. But Meta says that even if you turn those off, it can still attempt to estimate your general location using your IP address. Probably another reason to be interested in VPNs for your home or any of your devices if you are really worried about this. This would be a great spot to insert a NordVPN ad, but we're not going to do that to you today. But it is one thing that by default, your Quest does have location tracking turned off. Whether your headset's tracking where it's at in the world or not, of course it is tracking the environment around you, and that's how it's developing the experiences and seeing where the walls are and all these things. And as they've added things like co-location, where two people can be in the same room playing in mixed reality and seeing the objects in the same parts of the room, some of these features do seem more and more necessary. I will say personally, location tracking isn't something I worry about a lot. Maybe I should, but it's something, I figure my phone always knows where it's at, and half the stuff in my house is probably tracking me anyways. But if you're a developer out there or someone who's into this, let me know in the comments, what reason should you turn it all off? Do you feel like your headset cameras should be faced away from you or completely covered when you're not using the headset? What do you think? There's a lot more happening in the VR space, and we are just 2 short weeks away from finding out what's going to happen at Connect. We'll be here one way or another for you, streaming the Connect keynote live. Editor John will probably be stepping in for me again because I'll actually be at the keynote this year, which is exciting that we'll be seeing it firsthand. Hopefully trying out some new Meta AR glasses they're talking about. Hopefully testing this 3S that Meta still hasn't even copped to being a real thing. But with that, there's a lot of traveling coming in the next couple weeks. I'll be out in Florida, then out at Connect, then down to Atlanta. So you might see some more shorts, a little bit different of content than you're used to, but we'll still be here for you with daily uploads one way or another, because we appreciate you so much being here with us, making us hit 85,000 subscribers, which is absolutely huge and awesome. So thank you to every single one of you, and I'll see you in another reality.